Good morning, everyone. We are very excited and looking forward to opening our season on Friday, 3 p.m. at the Equestrian Center here in Auburn against TCU. They are coming in as the #1 ranked team. They won a big meet last week. They were the runner-up last year at the national championship. So a tough way to open, but presents a huge opportunity. And that's what we've been talking to our team about is taking advantage of that opportunity to kickstart the year and give us a good idea of where we are, what we need to do to continue to improve, and we have an opportunity to knock off the #1 team right out of the gate. We've got a good group of returners, a lot of seniors, which is great, have that experience, a couple fifth years that'll lead the way for us in Ellie Frigno and Olivia Bradley. And then a very large group of newcomers. We're planning 4 freshmen starting this week, so about 20% of our points will come from freshmen. So we'll see how they do with that as they get acclimated to the format and collegiate competition. But we're looking forward to a good start on Friday.
Does the schedule and testing yourself against top comp, how much does that help, especially when you have so many young riders?
I think it's huge. You know, SEC play, when we start that, so our second meet will be on the road at South Carolina. So just getting a really tough meet in before we start SEC play will be huge. And then as we look at postseason, that's always what we're aiming for the whole year, and having those tough teams early in the schedule and kind of getting a feel for where we are, it'll be a huge benefit come SECs and the national championship in the spring.
Do you use the fall portion of the schedule any differently than the spring? Or is it a meet regardless of when it takes place in terms of evaluating different riders and things like that?
I think the fall, you're always going to have a little more evaluation. The way our sport works, a lot of the incoming freshmen in the fall are still doing some outside competition. So we might be using some new names that people haven't seen before, and we'll really kind of settle into our lineup probably late fall, early spring is what we're looking at as we're getting towards the championship. But both fall and spring are equally as important as far as qualifying for postseason. So want to put our strongest foot forward no matter what, but we're still a little more in evaluation process early, especially with freshmen, just in how quickly they're gonna acclimate and be ready to compete.
Starting 4 freshmen for this one, how does that compare to years past? Is that a normal number, or is that a little bit more for you as far as starting with that many freshmen?
It's probably pretty normal. We're always typically bringing in kids that we feel like are ready to compete fairly immediately. So I'd say pretty normal. I think what's great about this year's team is we have a lot of seniors as well, which is helpful just from an experience standpoint, especially in jumping seat. We've got 6 of our 10 points in jumping seat are coming from fifth years or seniors, so that's a huge boost to those freshmen, just knowing they've got that experience helping them out.
What have you learned now that you kind of take on your own program? What's been the biggest challenge for you, and what's been I guess the biggest thing you've kind of gathered over this time?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of a different role. I'm very lucky. I've got the 2 best position coaches in the country. Coach Kurt's going into their 2nd year, and then Coach Manili we're actually able to bring back. She was here previously. We had huge success when she was here before. And so having those guys doing in the arena coaching on a day-to-day basis, and then the program management standpoint for me, managing the roster, making sure, managing the recruiting and those pieces, and just getting more comfortable in that role and making sure that I'm doing a good job managing both disciplines. My background's in the jumping seat, so spending a lot of time in the Western arena as well so that I can let my position coaches do their job.